Hello, my beautiful viewers. Firstly, I'm so not in the mood for the camera today. I just feel like I have to put that out there. I'm just feeling very uncomfortable on camera today, but I have to do this one on camera because it's not a card read. I've spoken to Michael, so I did mention in my last reading that he wanted me to talk to you about the third eye. So I did have that chat with him last night, and I also had the day before I got awakened again by Jesus. This time was even longer than the last one. So I've got palm cards here, okay? I'll put it to you like that. I've got palm cards here. Things that I need to say to you, I've been asked to say to you. And Michael said no cards today, so I can't really I can, but I don't think it'd be much fun. Just basically having a video of you listening to me and staring at the table, okay? So yeah, you have my my reluctant face today. Let's start with Michael then. Okay, so the third eye, as you know, it came up, or for anyone's new who's new, I did a reading a couple of readings ago. I think it was 3 readings ago actually, and Michael came up with the third eye, and the third eye came up twice in that reading. So I asked him last night what it is he wants me to say, and this is why it's so beautiful, because my first feeling was that he was saying, look at people with the third eye, don't look at people in terms of their wealth, their status, that sort of thing. And I did actually have a dream about that, so I will touch on that in a bit. But what I love about speaking to Michael is he will tell me something that I hadn't thought of, actually. And that's how I know I'm speaking to him, actually. So what he was talking about with the third eye, the reason he brought it up twice is he was actually saying to use it as protection. That third eye is protection. I don't usually talk about it in that way. I have in the past I've touched on, making sure you have discernment, knowing I did a reading where I was talking about the big bad wolves, know who the big bad wolves of the world, know who they are. Yes, I did. That was some time ago though, but this was just very specifically saying, Michael wanted me to tell you that third eye is protection, because a lot of people will say, oh, listen to your gut, okay, as in the solar plexus. That is true. It is good to listen to your solar plexus. Yes, it's a second brain, but he wanted me to say something that's really important. So there are certain people who have clairsentience to such a degree that they can listen to their body. Their intuition will come from their feelings, their physical feelings, because they are highly clairsentient, okay? Meaning they can feel, they have like, ESP, but in a feeling capacity, okay? But they're the exception. So he really wanted me to stress that they are the exception. Most people would be much better off developing this third eye, because that third eye, we use that to see people. Yeah, so we look at people with these eyes, and that's important. We have to. If we're crossing the road, we need to see where people are, where cars are. These eyes are very important, okay? But in terms of looking at people, specifically looking out for danger, he said, use this eye. And he said, ask for help. That was the other thing he said. And he reminded me that actually, and I don't want to keep this too long because I don't really want to talk about myself, but he reminded me of all the times in my life where my third eye has actually warned me about somebody. I have this thing, anyone who knows me knows I have this thing where I seem to attract, I'm just going to say weirdos, okay? Nefarious people. I get a lot of men. It actually happened last night, okay? I get men following me, okay, on the street. It's just a thing. I've had it, for as long as I was, I suppose, not a child anymore. And I've always known, from the moment I look at that person, I already know that guy's going to follow me, yeah? He's about to get out of his car and follow me. He's about to turn his car around and chase me. I've just always known because I've seen it, okay? It wasn't my gut that told me, it was this. But that is something that I have also, because I've always been very closely in contact with God. Back in those days, I didn't talk to angels. They weren't on my radar. Angels weren't on my radar actually until Archangel Michael came to me one night in a dream a few years back, about 5 years back. But yeah, I used to talk to God all the time. I would write him letters, so I was very connected to God. And so what Michael wants to say is that the more you connect with God, with the angels, okay, the more you connect with them, the more they will help you, because we can't see everything. As I've said before, you know, it's the crown chakra that connects to source energy, yeah, or God energy, whatever you want to call it. But this, the third eye, is still kind of us, you know, being us with a developed third eye. But if you ask for help, they will open it up. He also said, I know I'm talking a lot, but I have to talk. This is what the reading is today. It's talking. Just X out if it's not resonating or if it's boring you. That's totally fine. What he said was that they will help you as much as you help yourself. Yeah. So if you also do meditations on your third eye, even if it's just 2 minutes every night before you go to sleep, they're going to see that, and then they will meet you halfway. Okay. So they'll help you as much as you help yourself. He wanted to say that as well. He said it's kind of the same thing as saying, you know, like, I want to have really toned legs, but I don't feel like going for a run. It's not going to happen, right? Or you want to have big muscles, you got to lift weights. In the same way, yeah, you got to build this. If you want to build this, you've got to do some of the work yourself, but also ask for help, okay? Yeah, so that's what he wanted to say about that. Yeah, so clairsentience, people that have clairsentience, and I'm talking about people who don't even work on their third eye or anything like that, and yet they just somehow know. That is brilliant, but they are the exception. You don't want to rely on that where your well-being is concerned. Thanks, Michael. Okay, so now we move on to Jesus. Jesus is long. So what I'm going to say is just as you listen to this, please only take what resonates for you, what feels right for you. Yeah, some of these may feel right for you now. They may come true for you, you know, in a year's time. The reason I say that is because actually last night I'm going through and cleaning up my my channel. Just cleaning it up from when I started a year ago, because, you know, some of you will know I'm thinking about maybe stopping at the end of October. And so I just want to kind of leave a body of work that feels very, like it's really offering something, yeah? And there were a couple of messages, for example, where I thought the message was good, but I could see my energy was so off that day, I'd just rather it not be out there. Yeah, as I was cleaning it up, I came across one of my own readings, and it was, I think, maybe the fourth one I did, whatever it was, and I thought, oh my God, that has since come true for me. So that's funny, you know, I predicted my own future, but that was, you know, almost a year ago. So just bear that in mind. It may not be the case for you now, but it may be down the track. Anyway, use your intuition as you listen to these. First thing, Jesus showed me a masculine who was going up the stairs, like, you know, when you're boarding a plane. So he was going up those stairs that you go when you're boarding up the plane. But when he got to the top of the stairs, there was no plane there. And he hadn't realized there was no plane there. So he was under this illusion that there was a plane there, and there wasn't, okay? And then he cut to, I feel like we're watching a movie here, but quite often that is actually how Jesus shows me things, like I'm watching a movie. Cut to, quick cut, we cut to a feminine walking up the stairs, right? She walks up the stairs and she boards this aircraft, and she goes and sits in this aircraft, and it's quite a small plane. It was, you know, he drew my attention to that, so I have to say it was a small plane. There were not many people on that plane. And it wasn't, you know, like a Boeing or anything like that. And she sat down, and next to her was Jesus. Okay? So then the next thing that came, cut to, next scene, this feminine, is she still on the plane? I don't know. It doesn't matter. I don't know where she is at this point, but there's this portal, right? But it's like on the ground. It's below her, right? It's beneath her feet, okay? And she's asked to step into it. Do you want to step into it or not? I have to say this, that portal was electric blue. It's the color that's associated with the throat chakra, but also for any of my Archangel Michael lovers, you will know that's also the color associated with Michael, yeah? That color of protection and truth. So it can be Gabriel and it can be Michael. One doesn't negate the other, okay? They're both working for the same master anyway. But, you know, in Gabriel's case, it is about vocation as well, yeah? Speaking the truth to yourself, following your destined vocation, speaking the truth to others about that too. So yes, that was the color of it. It really caught my attention, and this feminine was asked if she wanted to step in, and she did. And once her feet, I saw her feet, I also felt them, okay? Once her feet touched that portal, Jesus said, game over. It's game over. But he said it in such a happy, victorious way. And what he said, the next bit didn't come with words, but the sensation he gave me telepathically was that all of the energies that had tried so hard to stop this from happening have failed. Yeah, it's game over. You've done it. All right, so I really want to share that. Yes, and now I'm breaking into a smile because it really felt. Yeah, my heart actually just skipped a few beats actually. Yes, it really did feel just like this most beautiful win after a very, I'm going to say it was a very hard fought win. Yeah. Okay, so now the next thing I'm going to say. I did a reading a couple of readings ago. I actually lost a few subscribers for that. I kind of knew that was going to happen. It didn't matter. That's not why I do this, okay? But yes, I was talking about people with soul connections, people who have a very deep soul connection with someone. There are people who refer to this as twin flames. I don't use that lingo. Whatever it is, it's a soul tie that's very strong. And you are connected to somebody who, whilst you have been doing a lot of work on yourself and a lot of healing, this particular person has been dragging their feet and not fulfilling their end of the bargain, okay? Because you are so connected, they're throwing everything out of balance. And there are times when you're really going to feel the ramifications of what they did and what they haven't done, okay? Sometimes you're going to feel it. And I was saying that, in my case, I woke up really feeling it, okay? Because something is happening in my life that I don't want to talk about, but something's happening in my life that is incredible. And so this particular person, this masculine that I'm connected to, is feeling that. So I woke up feeling like the world was going to end, but all it is him feeling what's about to happen to me, or what's happening to me. And I'm feeling his anxiety, his 9 swords. I'm feeling all of that. And I woke up feeling like the world was going to end. And so I did this reading because I was angry, because I would just like to be able to enjoy these blessings without having that, yeah? It's like a thorn in my side. And so I went on an angry rant. I'm going to leave that video there. And when I clean up my channel, I'm leaving that one there, yeah? I'm quite happy for people to see that. If people think it's too much emotion, that's fine, I will remind some of you though that even Jesus, okay, the most, let's say the most divine, I want to say masculine, but the most divine human that has ever walked the earth, even he had his hissy fit, yeah, where he flung all the tables over at the temple, yeah? So if he's allowed to lose his temper, then so am I, okay? That was just a very vulnerable human moment, and I'm going to leave it there. But what I did say in that video was that for anyone who is experiencing a soul tie like that, where you're connected to somebody who just basically, I refer to it as it just refuses to get out of the mud, but they're still pulling on you, right? So you're feeling that weight. What Jesus said to me was, every year that person takes longer than they're supposed to, or than they need to I guess, learn their lessons and do their share of the work, is what he said. Every year that they go over time, right, you will receive 8 years of blessings. That's what he said, okay? So that does change things a bit. I really like Jesus's math. Love it, okay? So I really hope that this finds somebody who is in that situation, yeah? Because please know that God is a very fair and just God. And as I've said before, they see everything everyone is doing. So they see everything your, I want to say, alleged counterpart is doing. They also see everything you're doing, okay? And they will reward you. So just keep going. As I've said before, keep walking towards the sun. Do not look back. When it does feel that way, just remind yourself, it's not me. It's not me. If you pull tarot cards, great, then you can do it yourself. If unsure, honestly, just reach out to me. I won't even charge you for that. I won't, okay? Just send me an email, and I can let you know if it is your other person or if it's you. If everything's going well in your life and you've been doing lots of work and things are great, more than likely it's your person. It's not you, okay? And even just knowing that can calm you down. And then just go and do something for yourself, yeah? Get even happier. Get feisty with it. Say, you know what? I'm going to get 10 times as happy as I was before you started sending me this energy, yeah? Okay, the next thing I want to say, and I hope I don't run out of storage because that does happen to me a lot. Okay, so I had a dream sequence that I want to share with you, and it was about a particular feminine. There was a feminine, and she's placed into society to test people. Okay, now this feminine was very, what you might say, nondescript looking. Okay, not much really to you would look straight past her if you were using these eyes. Okay, so here's the other thing about the third eye that I wanted to say. And then she was actually put here to test everybody, because everybody that came in contact with this feminine was being tested for their reaction to her. Okay. And what happened was, all these people, you might say all these social climbers, they ignored her, completely ignored her. Some of them, it was worse than ignoring her. Some of her treated her quite poorly, actually. And then in the end, it was revealed that that feminine was actually the one that was in control of this whole, it was like an organization, okay, in this dream. I don't think it was a dream, actually. I think it was a 5D experience, okay. And then what happened was, once they realized who she was, they were all like, oh shit, like it was just too late. There was no way they could save face. There was no way they could fix it. It's like, there's no way I can now be nice to you. I've just been such an a-hole to you, or I've been such a visage to you for so long. It would just be too obvious if I suddenly, decided to be really nice to you now that I know who you actually are. And that was it. That was the test, right? And it was interesting because it reminded me of something I read a little while ago. And look, I don't know if it's true or it's not true, but it doesn't really change the message. I did read a while ago that, sometimes angels come on the earth and take on human form. And they do it to test people, to test people's compassion. That an angel that's needing something of somebody. And what does this person do? How does a person respond? Whether that's true or not, I think it's a really important thing to take away, that when we look at people, we really should be looking at them this way, because when we look at them with our third eye, we're looking at their soul, and that's their true worth. Kind of reminds me of the start of the Beauty and the Beast, actually, but I don't want to harp on about that. But that's pretty much what happens in the start of the Beauty and the Beast, was that, what's his name? Well, the Beast, whatever his name is, Vincent, he meets this beggar, this old beggar, and, they all kind of laugh at her and ignore her, but it turns out she's actually a beautiful enchantress, and then she casts a spell on him, Okay, what did I do? Lastly, I just wrote lastly. That's not very helpful. Lastly, that's a brain fart. All right, well, I'll read from this jumbled, yes, okay. Please don't run out storage. This one, so I heard a voice in my ear as I was waking up yesterday morning, and it said, 2 souls need to be honed and interboned. Interboned. I don't even have much to elaborate on that, other than to say that, I do have an English background, as I've mentioned before. I thought, that doesn't sound like a word to me. Pretty sure that's not a word. So I went to go and look it up. It's not a word, okay? It's a bit of poetic license. They'll take it. They do take it sometimes, to get my attention as well. Interboned, because the way it made me feel was that it's much more primal. I mean, it's one thing to be interlocked, isn't it? Yeah? But to be interboned, that's to the bone. That is deep. So yes, 2 souls. And as I'm saying this, I am feeling, what would I call it? Kind of like an electric current, for want of a better word. I'm feeling very charged in my legs, actually, as I started to talk about this. And I just swallowed really hard. Okay. So I'm feeling that. There are some powerful connections that are coming together now. Yeah. Very powerful. Not with the mud. Not with the mud. What do we call him? The mud waddler. Not him. Yeah. Not her. Okay. New person. You are about to be interboned with someone. Yeah. And then right after I heard that, I was shown a masculine, and I was told, I didn't hear the words, but I was kind of told and sort of shown the 4 of swords, that this masculine is sort of taking a bit of time out. Yeah, taking time out. That was the impression that was given to me. He's taking some time out. And then I heard, because he's sharpening his tools. That I did hear. He's sharpening his tools. And I said, what's he sharpening his tools for? And I just see these hands just sharpening tools, yeah? And there was like a bow there, an arrow, sorry. and he was just sharpening everything. And I said, what's he sharpening his tools for? And I just heard, for battle, yeah. And so I have since spoken I don't even remember, so I'm not going to lie to you, I don't remember at this point if it was Jesus or God or Michael I was talking to, but I have since spoken about this, and I was told there are two masculines. We have one in the red corner, one in the blue corner, okay? Red corner, blue corner. And what's interesting is that so they're battling over a feminine, okay? That's the battle. I was also shown two masculines firing cannons, right? The red one kind of sort of like, it looks like he's coming in hot, you know, red passion, right? But then I said, tell me about the blue one. And I heard, oh, the blue one, he's the warrior. And I said, okay, can you tell me something more about this warrior? And I hear Lucius. Lucius. And I thought, I love the name. Love that name, by the way. But, you know, I don't have any association whatsoever with that name. It kind of sounds a little bit like Lucifer. But yeah, Lucius means nothing to me. So I just heard, look it up, right? When I looked it up afterwards, Lucius means light. Now, what did they say? He's the warrior. Yeah, light warrior. So we have in the blue corner, it's all I can say, in the blue corner, we have a light warrior. And then I thought to myself, you know what, it's funny because I immediately thought in the red corner, I thought, yeah, passion, red. But the blue flame's hotter than the red flame. So it might be somebody who's quite deceptive. It might be somebody who ostensibly doesn't feel as much or might seem more gentle on the surface, might appear more cool, calm, and collected. The feeling I'm getting is, even if that is the case, that they're generally like that, not with you. Not when it comes to you, yeah? Somebody's sharpening their tools. So I think that's everything I have. Let me just double check. Yes, I have talked about the 8 years of bliss. That's it. That's a lot. We are all done. I wish you a beautiful day, and please find time to play.